In this video, we are going to go over how to book a tennis court on the member website. So, one thing that you may want to do before you try to book a tennis court or a pickleball court is right here we have the current status underneath the daily announcements. If there is anything going on with the pickleball courts or tennis courts due to weather, that will be listed here. So as you can see, all of the tennis courts are open except court 8 due to wet conditions, but all of the pickleball courts are closed today due to wet conditions. So something to keep in mind before you go through the process of trying to book a court. Now today, since those courts are primarily open, we are going to go up to book a tennis court, and that is in this first row here all the way down to the right. That's going to take just a moment to load, and here we are. So as you can see for today, all times that have already passed for the day are grayed out. It is currently about 2:39 in the afternoon, so we can't book anything for earlier than that because it's over. However, there is quite a good deal of availability for this afternoon and evening. Courts that are being used for lessons are grayed out. Those are not available, but just about everything else is. So you can choose which court you like if you have a preference. I don't really have a preference. We're just going to go with court 2, and let's say we want to play at 5 o'clock. So we're going to click this green little rectangle here. Now up at the top, you're going to have your date, time, and duration, as well as the court grouping, which court you are using, and your party size. So you can change that time by clicking the drop-down arrow here. You can change that duration from 30 minutes to 120 minutes, and that's going to be in 30-minute increments, with 120 being the most. For your court grouping, we've got Palmetto Bluff Tennis and Palmetto Bluff Courts. We're going to leave it on tennis for the time being. We've got our court options and our party size, so you can choose doubles, practice, or singles for that, depending on what it is you would like to do. Now you've got all of your different players listed here. The person who is currently signed into the website is going to be automatically listed as player 1. You will also see on the left here there are blue check marks. That way when you make your reservation, if you have chosen someone who is in the system with their phone number or email address listed, they will receive a notification that you have booked that court and that they are with you on that reservation. So we are going to look at our players here. We've got Mr. R.T. Wilson as player number 1. Choose options. So if you need to book the ball machine, demo racket, or a USTA match, you can check those there. There is a note on the main page saying that you need to call the pro shop directly. I'm sorry, not the pro shop, the Wilson Lawn and Racket Shop directly if you do need to use the ball machine. So just something to keep in mind. But you do have options. And then for your players, now you can add new guests. You can put that the guests are to be determined, or you can select from the members that are listed on here. You can also search by last name if that is something you would wish to do. For example, right now it's just giving me the A's, or the beginning of the A's. We do have quite a lot of members. But let's just say, for example, if I put in Wilson, these are not the same Wilsons, but yes. So I have previously put in Grace Wilson and Marion Wilson. That would be Mr. Wilson's sister and wife. So let's say that's who is going to play tennis with Mr. Wilson. So we're going to pick Grace Wilson here. And again, there are choose options for her. And we will pick, oh, you know what, we're going to have to search again. Wilson. No, not Carol Ann. We like Carol Ann Wilson, but that's not who we're playing with today. We don't want to throw her off and confuse her here. There we go, Marion Wilson. And then we maybe haven't settled on who our 4th person is yet, so we can click TBD down at the bottom, to be determined. All right, so we have that all set there. Now, if an email address is put in for Grace and Marion, they would get an email notification as well. If you click this green, you can see that they do not currently have an email in place, but that is something that you can do should you wish to. And then finally, right here, if you need to write any comments, you can do that here. For example, I'm going to comment, "This is a test. not a real booking. So we don't confuse the team over there, and we're going to make our reservation by clicking this here. So we have a confirmation that our reservation has been received. It's got our date and time, it has our court, our duration, our list of who is playing, any options we may have selected, and any comments we may have. So we can click here to close the window, and you will see this pop up here in blue. That is our reservation that we just made. If we need to make any changes, you can click this little edit button as well. And for example, if you need to cancel, you can also do that by clicking that edit button there. So we're going to go ahead and cancel that reservation. Make sure we don't take space from somebody who might actually need it. All right, and so now that reservation is canceled. Now, since I do have an email address set for Mr. R.T. Wilson in this system under his member account, he will be getting confirmation emails both of the initial booking and then of the cancellation as well. So that is just something to keep in mind. So we are going to close out of here by clicking the X. And this is going to disappear from this. There it goes as well. So that is how you make a tennis court reservation. Now, if you wanted to view any and all reservations you had made for the tennis courts, you could click here to the right on My Reservations. And that is going to show just yours specifically. So for example here, we show the reservation that I just made and canceled. So it acknowledges that it was made, but that it is no longer happening. Just so that way we have all records of anything we might need to know about that reservation.